Honorable Chair. In 1988, I got married in Kiambu County. I'm a mother of two and a grandmother of two. I have received training locally and abroad, which has sharpened my skills during the time of my service. I worked with the multi-agency team. I embraced working in multi-agency approach, noting that there's nobody who can have, or you can't work alone in a silo alone. You have to work with other teams so that you can be able to control crime within the specific area you are serving.
Right? It's okay, the introduction part. I think you had mentioned who you are, where you had come from. You're a family.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm a holder of a diploma in fraud management and legal studies, and a degree in criminology from Presbyterian University of East Africa. Last year when I'm retired, I have gotten an executive diploma from International School of Peace Studies, where I did my humanitarian diplomacy, noting that police work is like humanitarian diplomacy. I noted all what I have been doing over the 39 years was like humanitarian diplomacy to our people. I have worked in most of the former provinces except Eastern. So I have diverse knowledge of the security needs of our people in our country.
I think that is okay, Paris.
So I submit.
Thank you so much. And Paris, that is good. And have you been ever convicted, or do you have an active investigation undergoing, either in court of law or before Parliament or any institution like ESSA?
No, Honorable Chair.
Not at all, right? Okay. Now, quickly, Paris, because we had, of course, gone through your CV and, of course, wealth of experience. 9 years is not a joke, that 9 years. And just shortly, briefly, before I give to my other colleagues, so which, are you a Christian, a Muslim, or traditionalist, or which faith do you subscribe to?
I'm a Christian.
You're a Christian,
Chair.
right? Yeah, that should have formed part of you. Yeah, beside your age, your region where you come from, which of course is of less importance to us much. It's also good to know the faith that you subscribe to. Now, you say you have not been convicted in any court of law, right? And do you like any honors? Do you have any honors or awards in your 9 years of service?
Yes, Honorable Chair. I am a holder of OGW, Order of Grand Warrior, which was given to me in 2020. I was also granted to have MBS, Moran of Barney Spear. Those are the two honors I have. I also got, I don't know if I have to mention it, I was recognized by KRI because of assisting them in investigations until they gotten their target. And actually they were given the 13th month because of the work we did in prosecution. At the time I was heading the Revenue Protection Services.
Very important. Of course, when we are talking about meeting our targets, in tax collection and compliance. So that is good. Now you're being recruited or vetted for the position of commissioner, one of the commissioners. Generally, do you know how many commissioners are they supposed to be there? And if you know, which categories, which groups of interest do they represent? And yourself, which group are you probably coming to represent? That is according to Article 246, 246.2. The number of the commission, the membership, including now, lastly yourself, which category are you representing?
Thank you, Chairman, for that question. In Article 246 establishes the National Police Service Commission. The National Police Service Commission has 9 members. We have one who is equivalent to the judge of the High Court. We have 2.
Who is that?
The chairman, the one equivalent to the judge of the High Court should be the chairman. Then we have 2 senior retired police officers, and that's where I belong, sir. And we have 3 members of integrity.
Which rank did you exited the service at which
I exited as an assistant inspector general.
Go on.
And we have the IG and his 2 deputies. So that is 9 members.
Okay. I think give the rest of members descriptions. Sorry? Good. We just go in that order. So what you're going to do, Paris, you're going to note. You have a notebook and a biro?
Yes.
So we are going to take 3 members at a go. Then you list and note their question. Then we give you an opportunity to respond.
Chair, I would like to ask the nominee one question relating to one key role of the National Police Service Commission, which is really to ensure that there's an effective, transparent, and accountable police service. In terms of police modernization, one of the things that police modernization is meant to address is the question of the trust gap, where the public do not have, there's a gap of trust from the public, and would like the police to be more trusted and more accountable. What would you do as a member of the commission to address that gap, especially with regard to the reforms?
Any other member? But before, maybe we have a vice chair who has joined us. He can go on record. Then we give Sige. Then you respond to the 3. Paris, we have got 2 members, including our vice chair. They're just going to introduce themselves as well. Then you respond. No, you take one more, then you respond.
Thank you very much, Chairman. My apologies for coming late. My name is Dido Raso, MP for Saku and Vice Chairman.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. I'm also.
Thank you.
Right, or we have them repeat again? from the three members, myself, Kangara, and Masara.
Gotten you as the one you were asking about physical and online recruitment. Honorable Chair, on recruitment, I think it is too early for us to recruit using the online without hitches. Because online recruitment is good because it will reduce corruption, malpractices, and time management. However, it will also affect those who are living in areas where we don't have internet. So it is going to disadvantage or left others out on recruitment because they may not be on areas where we have network. For this digital online to work, we need a bit of time. We need to do piloting so that we can be able to know what are we expected before we do the recruitment, the one we are almost going to do. We need, first of all, to have some tests, piloting. We see what we are expected, what we expect. Areas where we don't have network need gadgets. Do we have money to buy the gadgets? Have we been able to test the gadgets to know that they can be able to work effectively? Or are we going to disadvantage our fellow Kenyans? So I have talked of it being good, but it has sometimes to...
Okay, I think you have made your point on that.
Yes. On physical, it is also good because it helps in elimination. Sometimes you find that people come in to apply for this job, come in large numbers. How do you eliminate to have a minimum number? You find that in any place where we are doing the recruitment, we may be requested to have only 5 people or 10. But the people who have appeared for that recruitment are so many. So it is good to have the physical whereby they can learn and you eliminate. You do the medical, others may be sick. So again, you eliminate. These are not issues you could have done on the other side. And then you'll be able to have a few number. About these online can assist on education, on documents. But physical can as well assist because you work with the people from Ministry of Education. However, it also have some opening on corruption and malpractice because some people delay until it is late. So that recruitment sometimes goes until it is late. That's also another challenge of physical recruitment. So for me, I think people need to sit down and talk and agree in a round table to know that everything cannot be done within a day. I appreciate online is the best, but it should have time. We need to have time so that we can test. We do the piloting, and we come back to online. But before that, we must appreciate every other area has internet. Where there is no internet, we will be disadvantaging our people. Thank you, Chairman.
Continue with the rest, you Kangaras and Masara, and try to be precise and to the point.
Thank you, sir.
So that we...
Honorable Kangara, the frustrations you are talking about, it is true. When in the National Police Service, sometimes you can get frustrated. Sometimes you would see a parent being transferred, and maybe it is the time when the schools are opening. That is some of the frustrations the officers encounter. Sometimes you are newly married. You have been transferred to forward areas, and your wife is left in down country. Sometimes there is that breakup because of this work. So these are some of the frustrations. If I happen to be approved by this committee, I would request my fellow colleagues that if people are married, they should work close to each other, and transfers should be done when schools are not opening. And actually, somebody should be given enough time, 3 years, to work in a certain police station, so that you can be able to manage your family. It is true police are accused of many things, because it is not possible for a member of public to praise an officer who has done good, unless that good is directed to that person. Many a times it's when people do not appreciate the work of the police. However, police, like any other person, has mistakes. And that's why we keep on talking to them, training them, advising them, holding lectures, holding seminars and workshops to enlighten them of what is required of them. On traffic, it is true, there is corruption. And one of the key things is you deny the police officer working in traffic duties to have a business of matatu, of staying in one area. A traffic officer should not stay in a certain area. You need to transfer them, and we also need to keep on doing what we call monitoring and evaluation, so that you can be able to know how your officers are working. So the supervision part of it is also very crucial. So we need to be monitoring and evaluating what they are doing. You need also to keep a data so that anytime you key, you'll be able to know where the officer is and where he's working. So that anytime you get a report of a certain officer, you are able to key and know where this officer was working. That's why we are saying digitalization is also crucial in human resource. So about the reform in traffic, when I worked in NPS, those reforms were there. They continue to be there, and even now they are there. So if I am approved by this committee, I will go to add my voice because of the experience I have. You have seen I also worked at Government Vehicle Check Unit, the unit that deals with the government vehicles. I worked there, you have seen. And I'm aware what you need to do is also to talk to your officers. If you don't talk to them, they may not even know they are doing wrong. We need to educate them, talk to them, and have open way of people talking to the public, explaining to the public again, making the public appreciate the work of the police. And also the police knowing why, in the first place, they joined the NPS. They need to know their work is to take care of life and property. Therefore, they don't need to harass members of public during such traffic duties. I submit. Committing suicide and mental issues. I agree with you. Most of our national police officers commit suicide. One of the good reasons why they do that is because of stretching their pay slip. Sometimes an officer will have a loan in a certain bank, go and take another loan in another entity. But now, it is not, the supervisor may not be able to see or to know how much money this officer has taken, because now money goes to the bank, not like the time we were getting it cash. So what will happen with this officer? He will be frustrated and depressed. The next thing they do is he resorts to drinking, heavy drinking. He forgets the family. And what does he do? He commits suicide. So what we have been doing, and we continue to do, psychosocial. We have a department in the police whereby they deal with the issue of psychosocial and counseling. Officer, even the National Police Service Commission have devolved the counseling to the regions. Even when I worked in the Western Region as the regional commander, they had sent a counseling officer who was going with our officers down the ground to talk to the officers, the drunkard, those who have forgotten their families, those who have refused to work. And we were taking them to rehabilitation centers. The government, through the commission and the IG working together, these officers have been taken to rehabilitation center. Others, we invite the family members to come and assist us, and maybe we through the family, we all support, and we continue to support, because this is something which is doable. So the value I will bring, if I'm approved, is to continue and make sure that this counseling reaches all the regions, and we employ many counselors to talk with the number of our officers who are getting depressed to an extent of killing themselves or even killing their partners. Some have issues even in the family, and instead of handling it in a better way, maybe sharing with a friend, they think that killing themselves is the best way. So we want to educate them, sensitize them, talk to them, bring counselors to come and talk to them. On NPSC and IG relations, my comment here is people should work together. They should come to a round table where there may be some differences or relations. They can talk and agree to work together and solve problems. MOU, that is the best way. However, Section 245, which establishes the office of the IG, gives him some mandates. And also 246, which establishes the National Police Service Commission, gives him also some mandates. These mandates may sometimes overrides. And if I happen to be approved by this committee, with the rest of the commissioners, we can write to this committee to advise and because you do with registration, to assist the commission with the registration. Maybe they can amend or something because they are overriding. IG and the NPSC, they somewhere they override. So I would request my colleagues that we write to this committee. This committee can as well assist us right to the Supreme Court for advisory or registration.
Vice Chair Ngelechei.
Thank you, Chair. I think I only have one single question to Madam Peris. First of all, let me appreciate you for not allowing your high school determine where you are going. My only question is, when you go to the National Police Service Commission, you will be tasked with the recruiting of police officers. We know we've had a cut mark or a mean grade of D+ to be the minimum for the recruits of Police Service Commission. And it is, when you look at what the police service do, what they normally, their role in enforcing the law, it is a job that can be done even with any other Form 4 leaver, notwithstanding the mean grade. I want to just hear your view on the lowering further of the mean grade for recruitment of police officers from the grade of D+ to just a Form 4 leaver, with any person who has completed Form 4. Because from your CV, it means that cannot actually determine the performance of someone. You are an eloquent person. You understand your job very well. You served there for 39 years, meaning it is, I'm not saying that maybe the job was not as hard as that, but so long as somebody is of sound mind, upright, healthy, they can do the job. So let me get your concern. Maybe when you get there, could you maybe in support of maybe bringing down a little the grade, because we have so many Kenyans who can speak, write, and do very proper English, and the 844 system has not been so favorable, especially the students that came in the year 2016 to about 20, I think for the 10 years from 2016, you find that there were more students with grade E, D- and D. That is more than 3/4 of the Form 4 leavers. Where are they going to go? And these are very useful youth who can be used to perform the duties, meaningful duties of this country. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. Peris, as you retired from the National Police Service, you are an assistant police. So you are actually 3 ranks away to be the IG in real sense. If the House approves your nomination, you are likely to be one of the few who are lucky to have moved from the police to the commission, and you become a commissioner. So what guarantees do we have as a committee that you will not be conflicted, that you actually put on two gloves. At one time you are a policewoman, at other times you are a commissioner. That is the first question. My second question is the police has had a history of brutality, the issue of corruption, and police have also been associated with extrajudicial killings. My question is, what are some of the measures that you are likely to advise the Commission to put in place to make sure that there's public trust and confidence in their police force? My third question is, reading your resume here, Certificate of Recognition by Kenya Revenue Authority awarded in recognition of exemplary performance in revenue collection category as the Head Revenue Protection Service, DCI Police Unit in December 2016. Tell us, what is it that you did that actually earned you an award? Thank you, Chairman.
Paris, it's your turn.
Thank you, Madam Honorable Madam Caroline, for this question. My take in education of our youth. Now, making in consideration with mine, Madam, I am now above 60 years. When I made my decision, I think I was very young. And many things from that time to now have changed. The way of doing things have also changed. Education process have also changed. If I give an advice that we don't continue with the DPRAS, we roar, I'll be doing wrong, because we can't work retrogressively. We work progressively. Therefore, I would want to say that we continue with the way we are at the moment. And this is an individual feelings, and how you trust yourself, or how you handle yourself or your issues. That one may not be I cannot be able now to make it a rule, but I can advise them to reread and to do further training because of the current world. The current world is not the previous world. Thank you. Conflict of interest as a police officer and now as an employer. There will be no conflict of interest if this committee approves me to join National Police Service Commission, because I'll bring the experience I have to better our police service. The interest of every person is to make sure our police service carry out their duties effectively and efficiently, making sure that they take care of the public life and property, safeguarding our country. Therefore, wherever approved I'll bring my experience of what I have been doing. For me to rise through the ranks to that level of Assistant Inspector General, that tells you that I worked effectively and I was supportive to my juniors and my seniors. So when I come, I'll bring that expertise to make sure that the police service can only be better. Conflict of interest, again, in a nutshell, where you have interest of something in the police service, may it be recruitment, may it be promotion. If this is somebody you know who is being promoted or recruited, you abstain. And that one is put on record because that person is known to you. You cannot be a member of the people who are carrying out the recruitment or the promotion board. So I will not bring my interest first, but my individual interest. I'll bring my expertise to help our National Police Service, and I work effectively if approved. Brutality and corruption, extrajudicial killing. Brutality, we have officers who are brutal, but we have also very good officers. Like any other line of duty, other department, we may have officers who are very effective and others are not effective. This brutality, we need to educate our officers. We need to remind them of the Police Act, the laws they are supposed to follow. And they have to be responsible of their mistake. So they will be dealt with in ordinary proceedings because of their behavior. So they will be punished after we explain to them that they are doing wrong. Because we have laws governing this in National Police Act. So brutality is not an excuse. They will be dealt with within the law. On corruption, we need to educate our officers. We need to employ committees to work with EACC. We must have committees working with EACC so that they can educate our officers and deal with them. After advising the officers, we will minimize corruption. After charging those caught in that act, they will set a good example to the others. So on corruption, we will deal with the crime, and again we will educate our officers, and we will employ the committees who will be working closely with this EACC. Extrajudicial killing. This word, extrajudicial killing, have been mentioned many a times in the media or even in we have heard about it. But this one can only be investigated so that we can know, is it true, it really happened? This one needs to be investigated further. When you hear an issue like extrajudicial killing, I would request the officers concerned to further and deepen their investigations on this. And whoever is found on the wrong to be charged, to be brought to book. So measures to be put in place to build public trust and confidence is when we talk on barasas. Sometimes you may see even the IG giving out press release, telling the public what they are doing, where the investigations has reached. This kind of communication will bring back trust and confidence. Previous IG talked of meet the IG, the former IG Motiabai. So he had a link whereby he was saying, meet the IG. And many people could ask questions. Maybe you had a case in Western, you could ask, and then the IG would request the regional commander, what did you do with this case? Somebody from Eastern may ask the IG about his or her case. Then the IG will be able to follow up with the people on the ground. So it is employing ways of talking to a public. Because we are civil servants and working for the public, we need to satisfy them with whatever we are doing. And satisfying them is explaining to them of what we are doing. Thank you, and I submit. Recognition in KRA. Yeah, it is Vice Chair, I was recognized in KRA because I worked as the Revenue Protection Service head, drawn from DCI, and we investigated many cases on tax evasion, tax evaders, and customed goods, ivory task. We investigated many cases and arrested many people and took them to court. During that time, KRA gotten their target, and actually they were given a 13th month because of how we worked. We worked tirelessly, prosecuting people, and because of that, which was setting an example to other tax evaders, people paid taxes until they reached the target. That's how I was recognized. I submit, sir.
Maybe I really wanted to hear a very clear response from you in terms of you arrive in Police Service Commission. The agenda of the day, agenda number 1, it reads, restore public trust and confidence. What is it that you are going to tell your colleagues on the commission? Because you bring an experience and a block of expertise. So what are you going to tell them?
Maybe, Perry, so that because our time is much gone, to just maybe write on what the Vice had asked. Yeah, we appreciate that you, as a retired senior police officer,